Hello, hi, you're going to be painting with Angelique. I'm going to be doing the landscape today that I was talking about. I wanted to do a brook landscape. This paper is 11 by 15, so I'm going to do the drawing within the line that I'm drawing here. So first, it's going to be a three-part video. The first video is just going to be of the drawing. The second video is going to be of the first glazes, and then the third video will be the touch-ups. So what I'm going to do, because it's such a large drawing and I probably might put this in a frame, I'm just going to do a inch border from this side of the paper, just a light border. I'm going to try to keep it as clean as possible. I know that this is going to be a very tight video, so you might not be able to see when I'm doing the watercolor itself. You might not see the colors that I'm mixing, but for now, I'll do the drawing and the first layers of watercolor. So by the time you go to the next class, you can have some drawings and we can do some watercolors together. I did ask you in the email to get at least 2 pictures, one of a small drawing or one of a small picture of what you like. Could be an animal, could be a vase, whatever you like. And the other one is going to be of a landscape. So this is the second part of our 2 projects for next class. Okay, so I've done my little 1-inch border. So now when you're looking at your landscape, you want to see where the horizon line is. My horizon line is actually pretty high. There is, and it's on an angle. There is a brook that comes down. So I like to draw a line straight down my paper to divide it in 2. And if you have access to your drawings, to your photos, that's not digital, you could always put lines on it. You have a backup, right? I want it right in the center. I did it off center, so there we go. That's my center line, okay? And my brook, which is Brook in Tilsonburg, sits approximately, because the horizon line is here, then there's trees, then it's kind of dark in here, right? And then the brook starts from this section and it goes a little bit on the curvy side and then it comes down this way, right? So I'm sketching out. I do have a tree in my photo, which I'm going to omit from my painting because it's in the way. So I'm just drawing the sort of the outside of the brook at the moment. See, that's more on a third, so that has to go more here on this side. And so everything that goes away gets smaller, and as it gets closer to you, it does get much larger, okay? And that's perspective, right? In this section here, it's all rocks. Well, it's too high, about here. The brook comes down more this way, and right, there's a tree. Erase that line. So the rocks kind of jag it up and then jag it down. And then there's a tree that pops out this way, going upwards. I'm going to keep that tree, another tree here. All right. So you could omit anything you don't want to. If you don't like the way how that tree looks, you could always omit it. Omit it, what it means is not put it in your drawing, not put it in your painting, right? So do that one. It can be very simple. These trees go off the page, right? Just straight bark, straight, because it is the fall. There's another piece of that bark that comes there. Now, it's all full of rocks in this area, so I'm just gonna quickly draw in my squares. So the reason why I'm drawing squares is it will help to create the 3D effect that I want for my rocks in when I'm going to paint, right? So I'm drawing that rock as a square. You see it's like kind of an angled square. So then it goes down this way, right? And then there's another one here. This one is on an angle, so that's up to there. I'm just lightly kind of sketching in my rocks, okay? There's a whole bunch of leaves in between the rocks. There's another rock here, which is this way, right? Another big boulder here, which is really close to me. And I hope you could see these lines. There's that one there. There's one coming up this way. It's a square cement block like that. This one comes down like that. I'm making it 3D. And then there's another one that butts up to it right there. And that goes on an angle like that. And it's hidden behind. This one goes down. So that one comes there. Goes there. And then this one, you don't see the top of it. There we go. There we go. There's another rock here. These are more like boulders, right? Like cement boulders. Another one here. There's another tree. There it is. That's the tree there. I think I'm going to omit that tree, this one, due to the reason that it's covering the rocks. I do like it, but just in my photo, it looks really blurry, right? Because it is really close to us. Now on this side, okay, so as the ravine comes down this way, right, there's a boulder that comes out that way there. Actually goes up that way, and this tree here kind of covers it. So this tree comes up this way. And you see, I keep on, as I'm drawing my, I move things around. I don't keep things in a fixed location. So as I'm drawing, I'm measuring from things from distance apart, right? So this tree, there's trees are coming up this way, okay? And this one is a curved one going up that way. This one comes out that way, divides into 3. Okay, and then I can't see in the drawing. I'm gonna have to zoom in into my drawing to see what's in there. Oh, it's all kinds of pebbles. So the ravine kind of breaks down here, the water, like it trickles down. There's one there. There's another one approximately here, but I need to zoom out. And then these are all pebbles on this side, which is actually quite pretty, right? So it comes out this way, and all the pebbles are over here. And then the ravine keeps on going. That's really nice when you get to zoom into your photos, you get to see what's going on. So this one is here, and then these are what, pebbles? Yeah, they're all pebbles on that side too. Okay. So the pebbles come here, you can see them all there. And then it's just trees in this section, like bushes. So again, I'm going to do these in large clumps, right? Those are all bushes there, and there's bushes back here. There's a pine tree back here, a nice big one. So I'm going to indicate him. He is about there. So I'm just going to put a line there. And indicate there's a pine tree there. And then this one goes off that way. And then we have the trees in the background. So there's another tree that's hidden behind this tree that's popping out. It's pretty big, that one there. This is a tree that goes up this way. This tree that comes up that way splits into two. That one has a branch coming up that way. And then I'm gonna put some trees back here. And then the rest, the greeneries are gonna be washes of green, right? Okay, now closer up, because this is slanted going inwards this way, these guys are going to be wider kind of at the top, going down that way. And one comes up here. There's one right here. Covering that corner. And then one in here. Right there. And then this guy starts from here, goes all the way down that way. You want to look at the angles too. Angles are very important too when it comes to doing your drawings. And I don't know if you notice, I'm doing all these rocks in angles, right? And that's one good way of trying to get the accurate perspective. Now, if you find that the drawing is really hard, there's other ways that we can transfer images onto pages. And we can talk about that in next class. Okay, so I'm gonna put, these are the pebbles here. So the pebbles are, let me get this rock in here. This one looks like more of a triangle rock. Small on one side, triangled out. Looks like it's sitting on some other rocks. Slabs, these are slabs of stone. These are like concrete slabs, I think, right? So there's one underneath, one here, right? A bunch of them over there. Just want to indicate how it goes in. There's another rock here. That one sits a little closer to that one here. Move that down. Right. Kind of goes off that way. And the pebbles are over there. This is going to be all pebble area. Pebbles go into the distance. Let me erase that here. And I'm going to have the sun beaming over here. And I really have to get detailed work on that. And then the sun is beaming on the waterfall here. So the waterfall is going that way, the river or the stream. Okay. Let me just double check this rock here. So this one sits closer down this way. Bring it up that way. And as you're drawing it, you want to feel the painting, right? You want to feel the drawing, the rocks. One thing I do sometimes when I'm in the zone, I try to feel the texture of the rock, what it's doing, that kind of stuff. This one has to be much lower. There we go. Go. Draw that there. It goes way over there. Do you remember I drew a box here for this one? Do you see how much I moved it? Right? It's all full of leaves there. That's why you can't see the thickness of this guy. But there's another one here. You just see the side of it. And then there's this weird shape one. Looks like an old gutter cement one. It's sitting right where the water is, right there. And this rock comes down right there. Pebbles. So I want to put the appropriate sizes of pebbles. So it indicates to me when I'm doing my watercolor. There we go. So if you can bring something like this to class, right? And then we can start doing some watercolors. Okay? So I will see you in the next class. Okay, so I did a little bit more drawing before I wanted to do some watercolor. I just want to get some more information. I'm going to do some masking fluid, but I'm going to use this one here, the liquid one, because I can use it with a brush, because I want to mask all the little bubbles that are in the water. I zoomed in and there's quite a bit of bubbles. It's more of like the rippling effect of the water too, and the sun shining down on it. So I'm going to do that, and once that dries, I'm going to come back and for the second video, I'm going to show you how I masked it, and we're going to start some washes. Okay, so I did a little bit more drawing before I wanted to do some watercolor. I just want to get some more information. I'm going to do some masking fluid, but I'm going to use this one here, the liquid one, because I can use it with a brush, because I want to mask all the little bubbles that are in the water. I zoomed in and there's quite a bit of bubbles. It's more of like the rippling effect of the water too, and the sun shining down on it. So I'm going to do that, and once that dries, I'm going to come back and for the second video, I'm going to show you how I masked it, and we're going to start some washes. Okay, so I did some masking here, some drawing masking with the liquid one. That's not the pen. I used my brush just to keep in mind, because this took me such a long time. I did get some gum on there. I started drying on my brush, so now I have to let it soak in water until I'm able to clean that off, right? Because I don't want to have gum in my brush. So now I'm going to start doing the washes here. Okay, so in my colors of washes, what I'm going to use for my colors, I'm going to use a lot of these neutral tones here. I'm going to use the yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and the burnt umber. And then for my waters, I'm going to use these two blues. Probably going to stick more with the ultramarine blue, because I do like the intensity of that hue. And then for my trees, I'm going to use the browns, the yellows. For my stone, I'm going to use these two complementary colors to create that stone color. I don't need the white, because I've already masked out my white areas here. And for the leaves and all that, like glazes, I'm going to use the greens that are on here already. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, before you even start, just make sure you've taken out that middle line, if you can, so it's not there when you're drawing your going to start your washes. So I'm going to use my big brush, dip it in my water, go to my greens, straight to my greens, and start doing, I need my photo. Oops, there I go. Start indicating some of the greens in this area here. The light, it's hard to see. Let's go up this way, up that way. Didn't want to go over that. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to do this side here. Clean that out. I feel like I'm not prepared, huh? There we go. Now, I'm going to do the yellow ochres in this area for the bushes. You get some yellow ochre. Water that down and just start layering it in here. Again, I'm doing it again. Maybe I should put one on my head, eh? And then do some more in this section here. I need more water. Right here. And as you notice, I'm doing large sections. Okay. There is some yellow ochre because there is leaves in between these rocks. So I'm just going to indicate a little bit of yellow ochre there. The tip of my brush. Push that right to the edge. And this part here is a little bit on the dark side, so I can go ahead and add some washed down brown umber. A little bit of yellow ochre mixed in there, just to create that darkness. And if you guys want to do this in class, you can, or you can do it with me right now, because I'm not going to go any further than this. I'm going to just do washes and break down the areas. Now the sky is blue. I'm going to wait for that green to dry because I want to put in some blue and white areas for the sky, because I have some green trees popping up, but then I have a lot of empty trees because it is the fall. I do have a yellow bush in here that's falling apart, like because of the leaves. And this tree is just pure bark. There's no leaves on it at all. That's why I probably am able to see the ravine, right? The stream, ravine, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So I'm going to get some cerulean blue, just a tiny bit. Water that down. Add that in there. Some clouds up there. Make it go right across. And mix it in there. Try my best a bit. Okay, now the rocks, they have a tone of, in my photo, they have a tone of yellow umber, right? But they are gray. So it's a gray yellow umber. So it's going to be a gray, and some areas are going to be green too. It's the photo, what I see. I see a green, gray, and yellow. So I'm going to do a gray wash. I'm thinking of just doing yellow umber, right? Maybe a darker yellow umber, you know, maybe with a touch of this mud color in here. There we go. Going towards the greens. And I'm just going to start layering it on my rocks, just these areas here. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you notice, I'm doing very light washes. I am not going in heavy-handed, right? With my washes, just light. It's sort of just blocking out color, right? That's what you want to think about it. Blocking it out as color. More water. There we go. Because we're going to build on top of this, right? My pebbles, my little rock there, my pebbles here, pebbles on this side, pebbles over here. Oops, too dark, too fast. There we go. And it goes off into the distance there. That brown disappeared, huh? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry, and I'm going to do the water. Now the water, everybody thinks water is blue. Basically, water is transparent. It's gonna reflect the colors that are around you, right? So the water is reflecting the light from the sky and reflecting the colors that are around it, which would be the trees, the rocks, all that stuff. So the color is going to be not a blue, but a darker hue of blue, okay? Sort of like, you know, those mud colors I showed you how to mix before? I call them mud, but basically they're just, the colors that I use is the ultramarine blue, right? And then the burnt sienna. I'll just do a little bit here. Still not. More blue. So the color that I have is a darker, do you see that? Goes into the gray tones. And I'm just going to wash over this whole area. If it bleeds, it's fine, because I will go back in it and refine it. Again, we're just adding blocks of large color, right? You hear my dog snoring. This will lighten up quite a bit. Go. Some more of that up to there. Okay, so I will see you in class for the next one. I hope you see this on the film, on the video. But if you can have something similar to this done with your favorite picture, and if you don't feel confident enough to do it, we can do it in class. I can see what you're doing. You have an explanation. I will do a smaller version of the same one or something different in class if you need more explanation. But you can watch this over and over again. So the first part is the drawing. The second part is just the washes. Okay, we will be doing this in class. But if you have the confidence, you want to try it out at home, go ahead, and we can do it again in class, okay? So happy painting, and hope to see you in the next class. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.